Wildfires are part of life in the Southwest, but in recent years, devastating wildfires have burned larger and hotter in the Jemez Mountains. The impact will likely be seen for generations. In this month, we begin our new series, Our Land, New Mexico's environmental past, present, and future. Correspondent Laura Paskus takes us to the Jemez Mountains to see how the forest is recovering after the Las Conchas wildfire in 2011. The forest isn't the same and likely will never be, but there are interesting new questions about what the future may look like.
The Jemez Mountains sit above the Rio Grande and northern New Mexico. They're an iconic part of our landscape and culture. Many visitors begin a trip to the area at Bandelier National Monument.
We're right here in the headquarters area. In front of me is the main loop trail, which is one of our main attractions. And if you come here, you really won't notice much of a difference.
So visitors coming to the park today, 6 years after Las Conchas, what are they going to see when they come here?
So Las Conchas burned over 60% of the park. And then we also had major flooding following Las Conchas, the most severe of which was in 2013, that caused a lot of additional damage. So a lot of what we've been doing for the past 6 years since the fire and floods has been kind of emergency response, trying to get our infrastructure back in place, rebuilding trails. You know, the pedestrian bridge you see downstream there, that was washed out. We lost over 40% of our parking. So our initial work was trying to get the park back open to the public, make sure it was safe. And people have a deep emotional connection to Bandelier and to this landscape. When you talk to people in the community, they tell stories about fishing with their grandfather in the beaver ponds up on the Frijoles. They talk about, you know, the hikes they took as children, going to the waterfalls here in Bandelier, or going to the backcountry in Boy Scouts. And you know, those are really important connections people have. And so within, you know, less than a generation, these places have changed so drastically that those emotional connections have been impacted. We've got large areas of ponderosa forest or mixed conifer forest that have now transitioned into shrubs and grasslands, and we don't know if those forests are going to regenerate naturally. We don't know if those shrublands are going to be sort of the more permanent type of forest that we have, and we're really trying to figure that out right now.
So 30 years ago, this area would have been a pretty dense what we call a mixed conifer forest. So a forest that's made up of ponderosa pine, Doug fir, and probably some white fir in this area. Pretty typical northern New Mexico mix of trees in that kind of high elevation forest. This area has burned twice, once in 1996 during the Dome Fire, and again in 2011 during Las Conchas. So this area provides a potential future for what the East Jemez could look like in the future. And what you can see out here is when we look out towards the San Miguel Mountains, we can see seed sources that survived the 96 fire, these gray sticks, patches of sticks in those shrub fields. And those were serving as the mother trees to regenerate the forest moving forward. So one of the most remarkable things about Las Conchas was the size of the high severity patches. And so by high severity, we mean the patches that were left essentially without any living trees, so no seed sources. In some places in Las Conchas, those high severity patches were 30,000 acres. Ponderosa pine just aren't well adapted to recover after high severity fire. And so when you get these large patches of high severity fire, ponderosa pine doesn't have any adaptation. There's no mechanism for it to quickly and rapidly recolonize these patches. And so the area that we're looking at, the area that we're standing at, without a seed source nearby, is likely to remain free of ponderosa pine for at least the next 100, 200 years. We know that this landscape is going to warm up. We don't know how much it's going to warm up. We don't know if this landscape can support ponderosa pine in the future. Maybe it's better for us to look around and try to understand what this system is providing for us, what the benefits are of this system, how this system might interact with droughts. Maybe these shrublands and grasslands are actually a much more resilient system in the future. So this is Cochiti Canyon, and it was all part of that first day run of Las Conchas.
The landscape changed dramatically and quickly, but for people who work here, who live here, there are still reasons to love this place.
I don't want people to think that the Jemez Mountains is burned up and it's been devastated and there's nothing up here. I think there's a lot of reasons for hope on the East Jemez. There's a lot of reasons to still consider this landscape to be magical and beautiful and wonderful, and still a lot of reasons to recreate and enjoy this landscape, and however people enjoy the public lands.
These changes aren't unique to Bandelier, and they're not unique to the Jemez Mountains or to northern New Mexico. These types of changes with high severity wildfire, longer, hotter droughts, and impacts to vegetation and forest are happening all over New Mexico and all over the American Southwest. And as the temperatures get hotter and as droughts become more severe, we're going to see more of these fires and more of these changes across the entire western U.S. And so I think it's important for all of us to care about these changes and what they mean, not just to recreation, but to local communities who have these emotional connections to the place, and to tribes who have used these lands and collected plants and materials here for hundreds or thousands of generations.